This is the Provo River in Utah, just upstream from Deer Creek Reservoir. Actually, it's backed up a little bit. It's in the spring, and trying to catch some rainbows that might have run up from the lake. So far, no luck.
You know, last winter they let some water out for a couple of days to try to mimic a flood situation in here. And this is one of the places that I can notice that it really made a big change. Where that cut bank is, I think that's the place. There used to be a big bush that stuck out in here, and it was a big protective hole in behind here, and it's blasted that whole thing out. And so now we've got that one fast seam running on the outside. So
Now we moved up the stream a ways. You notice it's a cloudy day. It's a little bit stormy. Good day for fishing ordinarily, but the water's really cold. Dan's fishing with a bounce rig there. Use a resistance cast. You don't go back and forth. You just pick it up and move it forward. The rod loads when you make the forward stroke. It's pretty easy. Don't tangle up so much that way. Got one on. He's playing it carefully there. If it gets out in that heavy current, he'd have a hard time landing. But he's got it in the side in that slower water near him. Water's really cold, but it's an active fish. You know, some people say brown trout don't jump. This water's really cold, and that brown trout jumped.
caught this guy on a sow bug, which is my bottom tag on the, just using the typical bounce rig. We call the Provo River bounce rig.
Now that's a saw bug and the fly to imitate it. How big is he?
That's 16-inch fish, maybe a little bigger.
Ground trout.
Ground trout. Yeah, look at that. You know, we've got a blueing olive hatch and a midge hatch going on, but we don't really see that fish rising that much. It's a small fish that brown trout, 16-inch brown trout, just spit up in the net. That's why people can catch these fish on rapalas and spinners and things like that, because they definitely eat fish.
Yeah, it's like it's filleted, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the head looks digested and the skin has been digested off, and this is what's left. Yeah, we thought this was interesting that the beaver is standing up so high in the tree to cut this stuff down. You know, on this side he's been eating the wood, well he's been eating it here, so he could stand on the ground down here and reach this. But to get this and all these, he had to climb up in the tree, so I thought that was pretty interesting that he's doing that. Comes up here, cuts these off, and then once they get down, he can work on them. All these that have been cut, you know, this one fell, and he cut it off, and it's gone. He's eaten it, carried it away, he's done something with it. But all these pieces here, there's one over here way up high in the tree where he's been standing up, gnawing the bark off this thing. They will completely destroy these trees, and there won't be a big tree to come back and replace it.
So they're actually killing this tree?
Well, they probably won't kill the roots. It'll just be it'll be a giant root ball that continues to put up sprouts, but there won't be a place you can put your hammock or sit in the shade very much. He'll eventually take that. Well, the whole thing's on the ground. The beaver probably did that in the first place. He probably made this limb fall on the ground and didn't kill it, and it resprouted and came back.
So anybody that thinks that beavers don't change the environment, they don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, they change the stream, and they change all the habitat around the stream. They do like we do. They use it until they can't live there anymore, then they have to move on.
That's it. They have. They have a lot in common with people, huh?
They change it, and they make it to where it's unlivable, and then they have to move on. See, we can't move on anymore, so I don't know what we're gonna do.
But they can't go west.
No.
Okay.
No more west.
All right. Well, we decided to move over to a spring creek. It's nearby. Actually runs into the river, but we thought we'd do better if the water temperature is a little bit more favorable here. At least we've got the fish where we know we can get at them. The main river is running a little bit discolored, and this spring creek is clearer. Fishing in here, they're taking midges and things. Midges and sawbugs. Dan's happy because he's having success there. Now we've moved downstream a little bit on the same spring creek, and Dan's got a big one on. If you notice, the water's not running very fast. It's actually the lake is actually backed up almost. So this is a transition point where the fast water meets the rising lake level. So it's a good place for a big fish, obviously, and he's got one on. He's playing it carefully though, because he's got 5x leader, and even though the water's cold, it's a heavy fish, and he's fighting hard. He's not going to take any chances. Besides these midges we're using and these little sawbugs, the hooks aren't very big. The fish is running upstream there. It's to your advantage if you can get the fish running upstream and get a downstream pull on him. He's fighting the current and you. So Dan has high hopes for this. He's working it around. Gotta be careful when you get them close. That's when you lose them. Keep a bend in the rod.
I get him in close, and he shakes his head and he runs.
They get a straight pull, they almost always get off. Now we're getting close to the moment of truth here. Looks like the line is that fish has been thrashing around. It's kind of tangled up.
Oh, we got off, Jim. Well, what do you want me to say now that I lost that nice fish?
Well, you had him almost to the net.
Yeah. I guess if we were going to keep him, it'd be different, but
you can
see. What does it say when you know better and don't do better? What does
that
mean?
I don't know.
He got in close, and I say all I got to do is got his head up. I can just crank him a little bit. I can pull him right to the net, and I should have put him back down. That's all right. That fish will be here for somebody else next time. It was kind of slow. But the whole lower part of the river, it's been like this the last couple of times we've been here. It's cloudy. The fish just aren't doing what we normally expect them to be doing. And we're finding fish in other places, like up here in the Spring Creek. But the main river, it's been slow.
In this section.
Yeah. And usually this time of year, sow bugs, eggs, at least with the whitefish, but the water's up, so they're turned off for some reason, and we're just not really getting into them.
So we had a lot of whitefish hits. We didn't catch any.
They were very subtle.
They're too quick for us.
Yeah, I had a lot at one time, probably 5 or 6 in a row, and I missed every one of them.